Welcome to episode 5 of the Sound HR podcast. My name's Steve Randall and I'm joined by Tania, founder of HR Diagnostics. In today's episode, we're diving into one of the most powerful tools in an HR consultant's business, understanding return on investment, or otherwise known as ROI. We're talking about the HR Diagnostics ROI Calculator, built specifically to help HR consultants see how they can generate income from HR diagnostics, price their services with confidence, and move away from undercharging for high-value compliance work. We'll break down how it works, how it's being used in real sales conversations, and how the ROI guide and case studies help turn numbers into clear commercial opportunities. Let's get into it. Tania, good to speak to you again.
Thank you, Steve.
Now, HR consultants often struggle to prove their value in pounds and pence. So why was the ROI calculator such a crucial piece to build?
So HR consultants know their time, expertise and their energy are valuable. But I think investing in new tools still needs to stack up commercially. And so that's why the ROI calculator is designed to give HR consultants absolute clarity on the return they can expect from investing in HR diagnostics tool. The ROI calculator brings the numbers to life, shows how a digital HR audit can save time, create scalable income and unlock higher value advisory work, which is what consultants want. So smarter delivery, stronger margins, and return that the consultant can actually see and feel.
And so what problem does the ROI calculator actually solve for HR consultants?
So pricing HR work can feel like guesswork. It is tricky. You never quite know, how much to pitch work, especially when you're moving from time-based delivery to more packaged scalable services. So the ROI calculator gives HR consultants a practical way to, model different pricing strategies if they decide they just want to do an audit only, perhaps versus an audit and a compliance package, which could include reviewing contracts of employment, employee handbooks, core HR policies, that type of thing. And another practical way is they can see the commercial impact, which is really important. If you're going to invest in something and pay for a tool, whatever that may be, you want to know what the commercial impact is. And this provides different options in terms of if you decided you just want a quick return on your investment, you perhaps would just use HR Diagnostics as an audit-only tool, but there's lots of other opportunities to kind of upsell services and understand exactly what HR Diagnostics can generate based on the HR consultant's license level, pricing and delivery models. So it's a dynamic calculator and basically can instantly see the potential revenue from, different packages and also the uplift created by upselling complementary HR services. So like I say, policies, training, ER support, retained HR services, that type of thing. So in essence, it turns pricing into more of a commercial decision and not a guess.
Okay. So without getting too technical, can you explain how the ROI calculator works?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It's been designed to be really straightforward. Basically, you plug in a few simple details into the website, things like the number of clients you work with, whether you're looking at a monthly or an annual subscription. There's a clear cost saving of 20% if you choose to pay annually. And then from there, the calculator does the heavy lifting. So it shows what those choices could realistically generate, say over a 12-month period. It gives the profit, it gives the ROI for different options. And I've basically done the figures deliberately conservative. So it's basically like the minimum you should charge, whether it's an audit or it's an audit with a compliance package or any other services. So it's a practical model based on how HR consultants actually run their business day to day. So the numbers feel believable and genuinely should be helpful when an HR consultant's planning growing their business.
And you've created more than just a calculator. There's video and a guide as well. Why have you done that?
Yeah, so because the calculator shows the numbers, the video and the guide show how to use them, which I think is just as important. The walkthrough of the ROI video kind of walks consultants through the calculator, gives them practical examples of how they can package and price different HR offerings using the HR diagnostic tool. And then the guide pulls it all together, so making it easier to turn insight into confident pricing and scalable services.
Why was it important to include case studies?
Yeah, I think because the proof really matters. Right now the case studies are based on my own consultancy experience and also the early work of the pilot HR consultants, who are already charging for the audit. So it's based on my experience and other HR consultants who piloted it.
Excellent. And confidence is such an important important point when somebody's running their own consultancy. What impact does seeing their own ROI have on the confidence of HR consultants?
Well, I think it should be huge. When consultants can clearly see the return on the investment, everything should shift. You stop second guessing your pricing, and something we're all guilty of. You stop discounting to win work. You show up knowing the numbers stack up. And that clarity positions you as a commercial advisor. So not just about a service provider, but also gives you the confidence to have the conversations and not undersell your services.
And is there still a hesitation around talking about money in HR, and how do you address that?
Yeah, definitely. From my experience, and I think just the network of HR consultants I speak to, this is always a tricky subject. So there can be hesitation. I think that's because HR consultants actually care deeply about the people side of things, and they don't want to work looking at the pound signs, etc. So my view is simple. Ignoring the financial impact of HR doesn't make it more ethical. It actually makes it weaker. So every poor decision, every delay, every unmanaged risk lands somewhere, and it usually lands in cost, conflict, fallout for people. So I think the ROI calculator isn't about turning HR into finance. It's about giving HR the commercial credibility it deserves. So good people decisions are taken seriously at the top of the business.
And if consultants want access to the ROI calculator guide and case studies, where should they go?
So they'll find the calculator on the HR Diagnostics website under pricing and plans, alongside the walkthrough video and downloadable PDF. So I genuinely encourage HR consultants to spend a few minutes playing with the numbers, seeing what HR Diagnostics could do for them and for their consultancy. And also, if they want to see exactly how HR Diagnostics works and how it all comes together, then join one of the free webinars, and the links are in the show notes.